Some of the fellas down in the Dallas-Fort Worth area have a problem. Big problem. Too many white people carry guns. I mean, women carry guns with little pink handles and the tiniest purse you can imagine. There's a lot of guns in those purses. There's guns in purses, there's guns in cars, there's guns under pillows, there's guns, strapped to people's legs. They enjoy a nice firearm for self-defense down in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. But not everybody carries guns. That's one of the reasons we did a whole bunch of stories in the last couple months about all the black on gay violence in the Dallas area. It's one of the reasons why I got such a kick out of I don't think I could find it now, but we used it a bunch of times. The mayor of Dallas said he was more afraid of conservative white people than he was of ISIS terrorists. So there are a lot fewer white easy targets in Dallas. That's the challenge. The solution? Just start targeting people who aren't white. Look how long it takes to bury the lead in this story about a group of black people targeting Asian women in Dallas-Fort Worth parking lots.
Caught on camera, a woman punched and knocked down. It happened with her children close by. Tonight, for the first time, she's telling us about those frightening moments. Good evening. I'm Gilma Avalos. Doug Dunbar has the night off. And we begin with a safety alert for shoppers. It's happening again and again. A group of men watching, following, then moving in for the attack in and around Main Street in Euless. Our Marianne Martinez is live there tonight. And Marianne, you spoke to a woman who was punched during one robbery attempt.
Gilma, the latest attack happened as the victim was leaving 1B beauty supply store 1 week ago. Police tell us that is just one of 3 robberies or car break-ins that have happened in this very parking lot. Punched in the face and knocked down. A mother in Euless is robbed in front of her kids, her daughter coming to her aid and nearly run over.
That's when my daughter started running after me. And when I saw a car leaving, I was like, oh my goodness. She could have got killed. And I was so terrified. And from that night, my kids are still traumatized and they don't want to sleep by themselves.
The mother asked us not to show her face or give her name. She's coming forward about her December 12th attack because she is the 3rd victim in the same shopping center.
I'm just praying they will get caught. I don't want to see any more victims. And we don't deserve this. We as an immigrant, we work so hard. I mean, morning till nighttime. We don't deserve this at all.
Euless police say 12 victims in the past year have been robbed or had their cars broken into. A few were even shown a gun. They were all women, mostly Asian. Most of the crimes happening once the sun set in the same area of town. Several attacks happened in a Kroger parking lot up the road.
We're working with other cities, particularly Irving, on developing some more leads that they're working on, but we do believe that we're dealing with the same group of suspects.
Police have increased patrols in the area, even planting unmarked police units in the parking lots. Their worry is the thieves could become more aggressive and claim a life. Now, for women in this area, police are urging them to be aware of their surroundings, try to have someone to walk you out if it is dark so that you're not alone. And if you do find yourself in this situation, Gilma, police are saying do not fight back, turn over what you have, because if you try to fight back, it could escalate the level of violence they use against you.
Marianne, in this video, we do see this victim try to hold on to her bag briefly. I know you talked to her about that.
That's right, Gilma. She actually explained to us that she held onto the bag because the bag the thieves were trying to take had her car keys inside and her kids were already sitting in that SUV. Her biggest fear was that they were going to take those keys, get in the car with her kids in tow and drive off.
We know that not only are Asian women vulnerable in parking lots, we also know that old people are vulnerable in their homes. They're targets because they have money and drugs. That's 2 strikes against you. Let's take a look at this story. Basically happened almost the same day to an older Asian couple in the Fort Worth area and how they were victimized on video.
Well, Doug, that's right. They tell us the truck was stolen from their front yard, but they know things could have been so much worse. Neither the husband or the wife were hurt.
And I asked him, who are you? What do you want?
Startled and scared, Susie Almanuti found this man in her Fort Worth home December 10th. The 83-year-old was lying in a hospital bed in her living room. Next to her, her husband, John, who had just returned home from hospice care.
She saw it, but he could not talk.
She cried as she recounted how her dying husband watched the man ransack their home. Surveillance video shows him pushing their door in, left open for the hospice nurse they were expecting. The man searched the house until Susie tried to call 911 and her son for help. Susie says he walked over to her and tried to take the phone away, but she refused.
Tell me your name. Who are you? What do you want?
The intruder left with the keys to a Chevy Silverado. He had driven the pickup truck away by the time Susie and John's son arrived at the house. The son was panicked after getting a call from his mom.
All I could hear was some sort of a struggle, is what I could best explain it as.
He arrived to find them scared but not injured. The day after the burglary, the husband and father, John Almanuti, died.
It's also one of his last memories, assuming that he was not really cognizant, but yeah, we had a hard week last week.
In the movie, I think it was called A Menace to Society, there's kind of a famous scene in there where a couple of the fellows were in a little convenience store and the Asian shopkeepers are kind of keeping an eye on them because they believe the fellas might be trying to steal a beer or something. Anyway, the fellas didn't like that, so they killed and shot the people in the movie. Now, on Black Talk Radio, I heard we did a story once about a couple of the DJs were kind of using that as an example of why black people are not really that into Asian people.
Please, sir, I want some more.
Asian people are working their ass off. They're immigrants. They don't speak English that well. Why are they enjoying all this success, seemingly at the expense of black people? That's why the violence against them is so easy to justify, so easy to be in denial, deceit, and delusion about, even among the victims. I don't know why the Asians are such willing victims of this violence, why they don't speak out more. Well, I do know why, but I just hope they change they change why they're not speaking out about it, even if it does make a few black kids angry.